The reason why these strategies work so well is because you are in full control. You don't have to depend on anybody else to do certain things, remove certain things in order for this to work for you. So that's why it's important. Now, number one, as it relates to the three simple strategies, is if you do not have a credit card, you need to get one. Some type of line of credit, some type of revolving line of credit, meaning that you can use the money, pay it off. Use the money, pay it off. Why? Because when it comes to credit, one of the main factors is credit utilization. That's responsible for 30% of your score, which equals 165 points per bureau, really consumer reporting agency. So if it's responsible for 165 points, then you need to figure out how to max out that. But the key is that you are fully in control. See, when it comes to getting deletions, it's in the interest of the consumer reporting agencies to delete it based on whatever you dispute, based on how they're feeling that day, based on their e-Oscar system. But with credit utilization, you are 100% in control. So if you do not have a credit card, you're leaving 165 points on the table. That's number one. However, if you do have a credit card, then there are some extensive details that I'm going to give you that pretty much breaks down how you can maximize and get the most out of your credit card and max out on those points. But if you do not have a credit card, get one or get added as an authorized user by a family member who has great credit, understands paying bills on time, understands keeping you low utilization, all of those things. Now they add you as an authorized user, you benefit off of their good habits in previous history, and now that helps your score tremendously. So strongly consider getting that if you do not have that. Now, number two, if you have a credit card, what you want to do is make sure that you're using it the right way. See, a lot of people have credit cards. A lot of people have multiple credit cards. And a lot of people think they know what they're doing with using a credit card just because they pay the bill on time or just because they pay it on the due date. Well, that could be further from the truth because what you want to do is a couple of things. Number one, and this is your homework, you want to find out exactly when they report to the credit bureaus or to the consumer reporting agencies. Find that date out. From there, you want to mark it on your calendar. We live in a smartphone day and age. Set a reminder in your calendar to where it reminds you when you know they're going to report. In fact, I would recommend or strongly suggest, or what I would do is put it a couple of days prior to what day you know that they're going to report. Example, if you know they're going to report on the 30th of every month, then you can say, okay, on the 27th, I'm going to have my phone to notify me that they're going to report to the credit bureaus on this day. So that means on this day, I need to make sure that my balance is as low as I can possibly get it. Because once you understand the day that they're going to report, the name of the game is not just paying by the due date. It's making sure that when they're going to report, you have a low balance. So if you're paying before they report, now they have no choice but to report a low balance. Very important. And once they do that, and low by my definition, just for clarity purposes, is 5% or less. It used to be 10% or less, but 5% or less. Even zero is fine. But what that does for you is remarkable in more ways than one. When you have a low balance on your credit card, what happens is this: they realize that you don't necessarily need the money. You're using the card, they're like, oh, they're using the card, but they're keeping a low balance. They don't need this money. This is the type of client that is worthy of rewarding. So when you understand that they see that you're keeping a low balance, it makes them want to give you access to more capital. But this is what you got to understand: you having a low balance not only positions you to get access to more capital, it also lowers the amount that you can pay in interest, because the interest rate is based on the carrying balance, the balance that you carry. Well, if you carry no balance, it doesn't matter if the interest rate was 28%. 28% of a zero balance is zero. So it saves you money, it puts more money in your pocket. But let's not forget about the score. You having a low balance positions you to maximize the amount of points that come with having a credit card. Very important. We said it was up to 165 points. Well, having a low balance across all of your cards positions you to get up to 165 points. Now, let's just say, for example, you have a very low balance on your credit card, and or not necessarily a low balance, a low limit. Let's say, for example, you had uh, $400 credit card. Well, you're not going to get the full 165 points with a low credit card. However, what you can position yourself to do is have that very low balance being reported. Now the bank says, okay, we can give them more capital. They understand how to use these cards. Let's give them more money. So they may turn that $400 line of credit to $1,000. Then that $1,000 may become $2,000, then $4,000, then $10,000. All because you were properly using your card. Yes, you can get multiple cards, and this can help speed up the process as well, because now it'll look like you had multiple lines of credit for a larger threshold of what you have available to spend. But just painting a picture of, even if you start with one, you can use the strategy, but this strategy is also applicable if you have more than one. You want to find out all of the dates of when they report so you can understand when to pay it off. And when you do this, you put yourself in a position to where you're keeping a low balance. They want to give you more money. You're paying little to no interest, and you tap into getting up to 165 points just by understanding it. And that's still just strategy number 2. Strategy number 3, a lot of people sleep on this one. And this is specifically for those who have higher credit card balances. And let's just say that you position yourself to where you're pretty much maxed out. Do not sleep on the ability to earn a side stream of income outside of your primary source of income. Emphasis on outside of your primary source of income, because the thing about your primary source income, most of the time, is accounted for. You already have a certain flow of how you're spending that money, and many people don't necessarily live below their means. They live right at their means, and that's a not so good strategy. And I know from personal experience, that's a losing strategy to live right at your means. So you want to live below, but nobody really wants to feel the feeling of living below. So if you don't want to live below your means, then you must find a way to generate more income. You generate more income and really more cash flow. You generate more cash flow puts you in a position to where you're able to take money that's not accounted for, that came from your primary source of income, and instead you can take that extra money and apply it and tackle and knock out that credit card debt very fast, because you took the extra income that came from it to pay it off. And there are additional strategies that go along with that, because if you do it the right way, that side income comes with tax deductions. Tax deduction equal putting more money back into your pocket, putting more money back into your pocket turns into you having more cash flow, and that additional cash flow can go towards paying off your credit cards as well. So really understand those 3 things. Number 1, if you don't have a credit card, get one. You're leaving money on the table if you don't already have one. Number 2, understanding that if you know the right way to pay your credit cards, you position yourself to max out on your points. Number 3, making sure that once you have the credit card in place, if you've maxed out your credit cards, then more money can position you to get out of the credit card debt a lot faster. And now you can apply simple strategy number 2 to really get the most out of credit cards, because the name of the game is use the credit card, pay it off. Use it, pay it off strategically, so that you can position yourself to win at the game of credit using these 3 simple strategies. Now, I have a part 2 to this video, and I really want you to tap in. And they say that 90% of the people who watch this channel isn't subscribed. So you know what to do. Consider doing that if you've gotten value from this, and test it out, and then come back to this video and say, you know what? I tried that. It worked. And then let me know. But nonetheless, stay tuned for the second part of this video, because I have even more strategies that can position you to really take full control of your credit and take your score to the next level. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.